Hi, my name's Kristen, and I'm someone who developed OCD at a very young age. I was about 8 or 9 years old when I was first diagnosed. This is a picture of me, my sister, and my mom when I was younger, about 5 years old, before the OCD started. Well, I don't remember very much, but I do remember that I would touch things over and over again, and that I would walk in and out of doors a lot, and I did have to wash every dish, even if it was already clean, before I would eat out of it, and it would really offend a lot of people, and I had to say sorry a lot. I just said it over and over and over because I was always afraid that I was somehow going to accidentally hurt someone. And these are pictures of when I was around that age, probably about 8 or 9 here. I found out that it was actually one of my teachers who notified my parents that I was having strange behaviors in a classroom and that they thought I should see someone about it. And when I went to the doctor, that's when they diagnosed me as having OCD. And so I just remember when I was being evaluated, I just couldn't stop saying sorry over and over and over in the office. And yeah, so they knew something was wrong. I remember that my first encounter with the psychologist didn't go very well. I was already having flare-ups that day with my OCD when I was seeing her, and I remember when she was talking to my mom that I was having a compulsion to interrupt them talking, and it was a compulsion that made me feel like if I didn't interrupt them, then my mom was going to die. Now it sounds crazy, but that was how my OCD was at the time. So I couldn't resist the compulsion to interrupt because I hated the feeling of feeling like my mom was going to die. So I went ahead and interrupted, and that was the very wrong thing to do, because as soon as I interrupted, the psychologist stopped talking to my mom, and she grabbed me and started pointing in my face, and she said something very mean. I don't remember what it was, but I know it wasn't very nice. And after that, my mom never took me to another psychologist. I never received treatment. My teacher's reactions were to put me in a different classroom. They put me in a resource class to be with other kids who they wanted me to perceive as being normal. And they hoped that me seeing their examples would lead me to stop the behaviors. But I was told by my mom that the teacher said that instead of the students rubbing off me and me becoming normal, that the students started copying my behaviors, and that the whole classroom became OCD. And so all the kids were copying me. And I remember driving my resource teacher crazy. I would ask him if I could use the bathroom, and he would shake his head, and I had to hear it a certain way. So I'd ask it again, "Can I use the bathroom?" And he would say yes, but he had to say it a different way. So I asked it again, and he'd be like, "Yes." And then I would ask it again, and he'd be like, "Yes." So I would just ask it over and over. And yeah, I don't know if the being in the separate class ever made a difference, but that was what they did to try to help me. I remember my mom trying to help me out with the OCD. She would buy different books and read up and see if there was anything she could do to help me out to control the behaviors. And I remember her giving me a book once to read, and it did help me out a lot reading it. It was called Brain Lock, and it just helped me to control my OCD. And she was very supportive too whenever the OCD would get out of control. I just remember one day it was so out of control that I was crying, and I just remember crying in her arms, and she comforted me with OCD. I would most certainly think that genes may play a role in my development of OCD because shortly after I developed the OCD, my sister also started showing signs of having it. And my mom can recall times when she was a child that she had the same kind of symptoms that I was displaying. I would say that one of the worst parts of my OCD were the obsessions. And I still experience them now, but they were a lot worse when I was younger. The really bad ones, I would say, were the ones where I would have fears and thoughts about if I didn't do certain things that people were going to die. And I still have the scary thoughts now of losing control of my will and like accidentally hurting somebody or something, you know. Those are the really difficult ones to control. And for years, I remember one of the worst times, one of the most flare-up times for my OCD was on the school bus, in the morning on the school bus, because it was a lot of time for me to think to myself, and the thoughts would go crazy. I would have thoughts about, they would basically tell me that I was a bad person, that I was going to do something that I didn't want to do, and that I believed in liking bad things and stuff like that. And the thoughts really bothered me. The obsessions, I would say, are one of the most difficult things to deal with. Right now I take 2 medicines to control the OCD. I take a Nefrenil and Luvox. I take them both together. I don't I can't afford the right treatment that I need. I can't afford the actual therapy. The only thing I can do is take medicine, and I read books to try to help. But I just deal with it as it comes. And I hope that my videos can help others, seeing that they're not alone, and that there are things you can do to help it. My advice to others in dealing with OCD would be to be strong and to realize that you're not alone. There's a lot of other people out there who have the same disorder, and realize that there is hope, that there is medicine you can take to make it better, and to realize that there is treatment, there are things you can do, there's books that you can read. Just stay strong and remember you're not alone.
What doesn't kill you makes you strong.